Well guys, after that finale, the 5th season of PLL is officially like one of my faves ever. Hey guys, and welcome back to Kellie TV. Okay, yeah, the person who died was a little bit predictable, but we'll talk about my thoughts on that just a little bit. So we start off on Thanksgiving Day and we're at a house. It's a crime scene. We know that someone has died and the one who seems the most affected is Hannah. Then all the liars get a text from A saying that it's all your fault. So we flash back 36 hours earlier and we find out that Allie is the one who ratted to police, and the girls are actually going to talk to Mona about this. This is the first time I think we've ever seen her house on, definitely the first time we've ever seen her mom. And I noticed the creepy dolls are in Mona's room. That's a recurring theme throughout this whole show. So I thought that was interesting that she has all those creeptastic dolls in her room. Anyway, so they are asking for Mona's help. So things have really changed in Rosewood because they found out that Allie's talked to police and Mona is going to be able to help them. Mona says that Allie has ruined her life and she is sorry for taking it out on the girls, and for once she actually seems pretty believable here, especially after last week's episode. I'm starting to think Mona is actually kind of cool. She can actually be okay. I don't know. And I guess that's what they wanted us to think about her. They wanted her to go out on a good note. So it seems like my theory that Mona had her own little sub A-team has been right, because she's calling in her troops after she finds out what Allie is up to. The only problem with that is that her troops have abandoned her. Hey, and did anyone think that her mom looks totally like M's mom? I mean, that was kind of weird to me. So Mona's showing up at this little A-team meeting and she finds out the only other person who bothered to come was Lucas, because Allie's already told everyone else that Mona is Looney Tunes. Mocha would be like an even cooler name. I don't like the name Mona. No offense if that's your name. So anyway, Mona is thinking that Allie is A, that Allie took over for her game. She's telling the other liars this. Seems like they're believing it, but I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is too obvious. Once again, I'm thinking that they're going to say Allie has an evil twin. I'm thinking they're still going to go with that theory, but I don't know. It's just way too obvious for Allie to be A after all these people think that she's A. At least I hope so. So it looks like things are back to normal for Paige and Emily. They have reunited, which is a good thing. And Mona's mom is at the school and it seems like she went to talk to the principal about Allie bullying Mona, and that's probably gonna backfire on you there. Toby is officially Officer Toby and he looks pretty good in that uniform. So Lucas, Mona's only minion now, is helping out at the police station. He's so savvy that he is downloading these files about Allie's case, and the funny thing is that Mona is like on the toilet with the seat closed, I would hope, and she is intercepting all this information into her computer. So you see that they are both very tech savvy here. I thought that was pretty funny. And I started to think, because a lot of people, including myself, were thinking that Mona was going to die. And at this point in the show, it seems like so obvious. So I'm like, I don't think it's going to be her. I think it's going to be somebody else. But hold on, not so fast there. Anyway, the girls are getting together to watch Allie's confession, which Mona has intercepted from the police thanks to Lucas. And it seems like she's going to place all the blame on Spencer. Not a surprise there. She says, hey, I didn't have anything to do with Bethany's murder. And you know what? I started thinking maybe that's true. Maybe it was her twin. Maybe it was someone else. She might be telling the truth, but we know Spencer didn't do it. I've been thinking a lot about yesterday's episode, and I'm like, where the heck is Tanner? And I think something bad happened to her, because we know Holbrook is shady, and I think Tanner was actually an honest police officer. So Holbrook has totally taken over this case, and it's funny because they mentioned Tanner twice about like, maybe we should wait on Tanner to show up, and he's like, nah, we don't need to do that. Something's not right here. Something's not right. Anyway, Holbrook comes to Allie's house, being his super shady self, to tell her something. Unfortunately, we don't get to hear what it is, but it seems like he is on Team Allie. Mona lets Caleb in on the secret that Allie is up to no good, and that way they can have his help in hacking into some files, and he's able to help them. And it turns out that Allie is no longer even a suspect in the Bethany murder. So Spencer is now the main suspect in Bethany's murder, and she knows an arrest is coming. So what they plan to do to retaliate is to go to Radley and to find what this link is between Bethany and Allie. Spencer and Mona pose as nurses and are able to somehow break into Allie with the tech help of Caleb and Hannah, who are hanging out in the car. And Allie freaks me out because she shows up at Emily's, but no worries, this was actually a setup so that she wouldn't know what was going on at Radley, but it didn't work out so well. Emily lies. She says, you know, I really want to make up with you, Allie. And then I thought it was so cool that we got to see Allie's true colors when she had that little smirk on her face when her back was turned to Em. We know all along she's really not their friend. So conveniently Holbrook shows up at Radley. What's up with that? Did someone tip him off? And he is questioning Aria, and he's so unprofessional, just like most of the cops in Rosewood. Allie takes Em's phone and she totally busts her in that lie because she knows it's Hannah texting her and not her mom. And then Paige is trying to surprise Em with some soup, but she sees Allie leave and get into a car with the nerdy twins, so she follows them. All right, so here was one of the most important parts of the show. Some crucial information here about Bethany. Spencer and Mona listened to Bethany's recorded Radley sessions, and it seems like from what I've listened to it a couple times, and from what I gather, Bethany's dad was having an affair with Mrs. D. So I'm thinking, is this Spencer and Melissa's dad? So is Bethany technically related to Spencer and Melissa? Okay, maybe it's not, but we know that Mrs. D had an affair with him once, that she's Jason's mom. So I'm wondering if she had an affair with him again, or maybe that's too easy. Who are your thoughts? Who is the guy that's Bethany's dad? Maybe it's Byron. We know that he, well, not that Mrs. D is younger, but anyway, we know he's shady and he can't stay committed. Anyway, I want to know what your thoughts are about that. So Toby is driving in a car that looks like it's from the 50s. It's really bizarre. And someone suddenly hits him, and turns out he has a broken leg, but he's going to be fine. Not sure. I'm sure we're going to find out later like who that was, but I'm sure that was totally A's doing. Paige finds out that the twins took Allie to some abandoned farm where all of her like minions had gathered, so she's gathering up an army. And then sadly in the coffee shop, Spencer gets arrested for Bethany's murder, which we all knew was coming, but still was kind of a heartbreaking scene. Now, the best part of the show. We see someone with blonde hair. It looks like they're totally Allie's size, and they're totally Allie-like. If they're not Allie, they're stalking Mona's house. To me, though, way too obvious to be Allie. Looks like Allie's twin or Cece. That's what I'm thinking right now. So Mona is just getting some juicy information from these sessions. She's finding out that Allison lured Bethany to Rosewood because she was angry about that affair. Mona's able to call Aria and tell her that all this is going down. So Aria's like, let me come over right away. She's like, look, Allie is A. I have proof. So all the liars are getting together to come over. But unfortunately, Black Hoodie Person is picking the lock to Mona's house. It's just a matter of time before things go really wrong. So we see, which I thought was cool, the person in the hoodie takes their hoodie off. We see this, which doesn't appear to be a wig. Maybe it is, but this really pretty blonde hair that looks totally like Allie's. So we know Cece has the same hair. So I'm thinking Cece, a twin that we don't know about, but I think it would be really cool if it ends up being someone with a wig and it was like a dude or something. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? So, unfortunately, by the time that the liars come, it's too late because right before they get there, Mona is looking in the mirror and she's like, I have won. I have beat you, Allie. And the hoodie person, when she turns around, is right behind her. And obviously she stabs her or something terrible because there's blood everywhere when the liars get to the house. And they're shocked to see all that. But the thing they don't see is Mona. So I had a small bit of hope here because the next thing we cut to is is Holbrook doing interviews saying that Mona has been murdered. But when there's no body, I'm like, you know, some of you thought that she faked her death. So I'm like, yes, possibly, or not really possibly though. But maybe she was in on it with Allie. I don't know. I just had some hope that she was still alive, even though she honestly annoys the crap out of me most of the time. But not so fast. So I thought it was interesting to see that someone replaced that baby Jesus at Emily's house with baby Mona. The baby Jesus ends up in the trunk of a car with dead Mona. So I thought it was cool that we actually saw her. We didn't have a cliffhanger. We know now that she's dead. Again, I'm not super sad because she really was someone I didn't like, to be honest. But I thought it was interesting that they killed her off. She was an interesting character. So, what are your guys' thoughts about this? I mean, who is Hoodie Person? Who is Bethany's dad? What are your thoughts? I thought overall it was really well written and I was happy with it, even though the person who died was pretty obvious. I want to give a huge shout out to my sub of the week, Tishaloveyah, who called it on, sounds like she thinks Spencer's dad is Bethany's dad as well, and Mrs. D is her mom, which it sounds like that is what has happened. So I gotta give Tisha big props for that. That's awesome. I had so many awesome theories, guys. It took me forever to pick my sub of the week because I was just so excited by all of your support and comments. It was awesome. I'm going to pick another one because my PLL videos are still going to be around even though the season is over for now. Next week, I want to do the PLL tag, so I will announce a new subscriber of the week based on your finale theory, so please leave them down below. And I also got other PLL videos planned coming up, including a question and answer with me. So guys, thank you so much for being with me this season. I made a playlist of all my PLL videos for season 5, so you can go back if this is the first one you've seen, because I have done them all and I've had such a great time. But PLL videos are going to keep coming. We have the Halloween special, Christmas special, and then of course the next season that I will totally cover. So thanks guys again for watching this episode of Kellie TV, and I will see you next time.